Welcome to Creative Pages with Catherine. I'm Catherine, and thank you so much for joining me for the full version of my larger box that I showed in the Whimsical Wonderland Challenge. This box features our Joy to the World collection from Creative Memories, and it has a folding closure that's a little bit different than the other box I did. This was the larger of the two boxes. Please check the description box below this video for links to the other companion videos, as well as shopping links and links to classes that I offer both in person and virtually. So I hope you all will check some of those out. Let's get into the project. Here we go. I am so excited to show you all another use for our Creative Memories envelope and bow creator. Because as it says, we have instructions on how to make a bow, which I showed in our June Halloween challenge, if you want to see how to do some bows. And we also have instructions on how to do envelopes, which we have pre-cut papers ready to go to make certain sizes of envelopes, or you can cut your own just by looking at this chart to match up the size card you're making with the paper size you would need to make an envelope. But there's no instructions on how to make a box. So today I want to show you all two different ways on how to make boxes, two different sizes. And for me, it's just one of those perfect things that says Christmas to me. And we have two different Christmas collections that I'll be talking about a little bit. But it also speaks to the Alice in Wonderland challenge to me as well, because if you watched the original Disney Alice in Wonderland, she drinks the potion, the cherry tart flavored potion from the bottle, and she gets small. But she forgets the key, and so she needs to become large again, and a little trunk comes her way with the cookies or the treats that say "Eat Me." And I believe in the updated movie, they had even little cakes. So the original Disney version had a little trunk-like box. We are going to create a little bit more of a actual box that you can use for gift giving at Christmas time, or you can even add some chocolates or treats or cakes or petit fours or whatever treat you think you might like to add to it. Maybe some cookies. I don't know. I am a chef, so of course, coming up with food ideas is super fun for me, but y'all want to see how to make this box. So let's get to it. I am going to do two different sizes. So this is our first size here. I have cut this paper, this cardstock, our navy cardstock, to 10.5 by 10.5 inches in a square, and I'm lining it up on my 13 by 13 cutting mat because I need to add little lines. This is the one thing that you do need to do. We're going to add a small mark at the 3-inch and the 7.5-inch mark. And don't worry about having these little marks on your page because they are going to disappear. They actually get punched out when we start punching. So 3 becomes 9 at the top. Sorry, I can talk, but I also want to make sure I get the right point here. 7.5 is 5.5 at the top here. And we have our, let's see, it's running in reverse on this side. So let's see, we need 3.5. Oh, wait, no, we just needed 3. Uh-oh. So let me make a little squiggle here. I did the wrong spot. There we go. 3 and 7.5, 3 and 7.5, 3 and 7.5, and then I need 3. So 1, 2, 3 is 9. 4, 5, 6, 7.5 here, and I am using my silver metallic dot tip pen, and I will show you something else we're going to be using our dot tip pen for later as well. I need to make sure not to miss that one. So I think we'll do it first. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out my creator here. And on this, there's a little punch button essentially, and it makes a notch, and it also has a corner rounder within this little button here. It also has these 2 points that come out for when we're needing to do angles for bows and things. And then it has a line here that shows us the middle. This line here is what I'm going to be lining up my notches with, or my lines. And I'm going to do this one first because since I messed up and put the other one at the wrong point, and then I'll just make sure to fold that in. It's okay. That's the one nice thing about paper, is there is always a way to fix it. I love paper crafting. It's so much fun. And I love doing some different and unique things, like participating in this challenge. One more side here. So we're going to do all 4 sides. And you can see how all of my other silver marks are now gone, of course, except for the one that I put in the wrong spot. But, you know, it's okay. Bear with me here. You can see it's all on our parts that punched out. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of those. I'm going to open up the arm. We have a little stylus that stores within the creator here, and we pull that out because we need to start scoring our paper. And the thing I figured out was that basically we're going to score it along this line that essentially gets created as you do your notches. So you can see where it creates a straight line going across here, and then we're going to move it up because you can see across here as well, this notch, it does link up across as well. That's why I had to pull the arm out, because this is a larger box. Let me make sure I'm on my mat so I get a nice even line going across. And uh-oh, I just went off. It's okay. You want to kind of go over it a couple of times, but you don't want to go through your paper. So now we're just going to keep turning things to the right and keep on scoring. So essentially you're putting your piece of paper up with this diagonal angle here. We're lining up the top, and you're going to just get it as even as possible going across, because this is how we're going to fold our box. Oops. Where is it? There we go. Up one more. Okay. Okay. And now that I've done all 4 sides, I'm going to go ahead and just double check those little ends actually are pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and put my stylus away. I'm going to fold down that arm. I'm going to set aside my envelope and bow creator. I'm going to grab my bone folder and just start folding along these creases that we've created here, using my bone folder just to make sure that they go nice and straight, starting with the 4 points, which we're going to make some adjustments to in just a moment. But we need to make sure we get everything folded first here. And with this box, it is not 100% square. Our next box will be more squared. This one is a little bit more rectangle-y, which is why I wanted to show you 2 ways. We're going to do 2 different ways of also folding the paper, so you get your 2 different styles of boxes as well. So there we go. Those are the 4 sides. And now I'm going to go ahead and grab out my corner punch end here. And I'm just going to punch the top, or the 2 opposite corners. So you can see I have 2 that are rounded and 2 that have stayed pointy. So you just want to do 2 across from each other to round those off. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out my all-purpose scissors here, and I'm going to take them and I'm going to cut right next to the 2 points that are rounded. So you're just going straight down from your rounded ends and making some cuts, going down just to the next fold running across here. So you can see here's where I have that score line where this box is going to be folded next. I'm just cutting up to that point, and I'm going to do it on both ends here. We're also going to use our scissors to create flaps. So since I have this little silver dot here still, I'm going to go ahead and cut that point off. I'm going to leave about an inch. So I'm going to go ahead and use my mat because we're creating flaps for the top of the box. So I'm starting here and just going down an inch and creating this flap here. So you can see where it's cut off nicely. Lost my little mistake I had made earlier. I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to line it up again. I'm going to give myself an inch. So here I'm at the 5. I'm just going to go down to the 4. Whoops. Yes, I think I am. Here we go. And cut down as well. And I'm cutting on either side of the rounded point. So this rounded point is going to be my top of the box, and these flaps are going to be the top of the box. So that means this is the bottom of my box. We're going to have this on our mat with our rounded end up. Sorry about that. I'm a little bit off because it's a diamond now, so it's a little bit wider. Rounded end up. Our flaps are at the top. We're going to fold up these 2 points. I'm going to grab my precision point adhesive, and these 2 are going to fold up and in, so they're going to overlap right through here. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of my glue on there. It comes out blue at first, but as it dries clear. So let me put this down. I'm going to hold these together for just a moment. There we go. I want this to line up nicely. And come on. Oh, let's leave it on here. So I thought I was going to use the precision point adhesive to hold this on, but I actually decided I'm going to go ahead and grab out my roll of photo tape instead, because you can use your glue guns or other adhesive as well, but I kind of wanted to use a stronger adhesive because I want to make sure that this stays together. So I'm putting it on the flap that's going to go into the front, in front of the other flap, I guess, if you will. And I'm just going to go ahead and get these two together here. Okay, it's already sticking, which is nice, but I want to make sure my box gets lined up. Okay. Yep, already is wanting to stay together on me, which is great. You want a strong adhesive to hold it together, but you also want to make sure your box is straight as you're putting it together as well. There we go. So that is our first side put together. Here we go. And then we are going to get these 2 points together next. So I need just a small piece, or if you have glue dots, you can use those as well. For me, I am just taking my micro tip scissors and trimming down what I don't need, because these are super wonderful. They can cut through adhesive all day and I don't have to worry about it. They have a special coating on them, which just make a crafter's life easy. So, hardest part here is getting up the paper. Let's get this one lined up again. We want to make sure we have a nice box shape going here. That one's stuck now. And next we're going to bring this piece up and over here. So we need to get a little bit more across here, going around the edges. See if I can actually get my measurement a little bit better this time. I don't know. I seem to be having some minor issues eyeballing it here, so we're just gonna go with it. I'm gonna take the extra. Whoops! Now there we go. There's part of my issue is that I keep letting it go more than what I need. I'm just gonna use my scissors to take a piece off. And I'm just going to go along the side here. That actually worked out really well. So I'm probably going to do that again. Let's see here. Right about here, just a little bit under. And there is a metal cutter on this photo tape, which is really nice. You don't always find boxes that have metal teeth in them anymore. It seems like a lot of things are plastic now, but it just really helps. Okay. Whoops. And then you just need to get the paper up. There we go. And I need to get another piece across here, I think. Yep, so that way I can stick it across here. So let me do that before I move the entire piece here. Another small piece going across here. And there we go. Okay, so first things first, we're going to make sure our bottom gets put down nicely. And then we're going to bring up this other part, oops, which of course is starting to stick already, which is nice, but I want to make sure I get it lined up as well. And you can see how this is more of a rectangular shape. It's basically 3 inches by 3.5 inches from our original 10.5 inch paper. But now you see we have this extra part at the top that just folds in really nicely, and you can add whatever you want to your box. Okay, so we have our box now, and this is basically a 3.5 by 3.5 front and back of our box. And 3 inches by 3.5 for the top, the bottom, and the two sides. So I've gone ahead and I've cut some designer paper, and we're going to go ahead and get this decorated. This is from our Joy to the World collection. I kind of wanted my Harlequin print to be at the top and bottom. This one has, what are these, navy dots on the back side of it. And then I used the gray and navy poinsettia paper with the red flowers on the back for my sides. So I'm going to grab my tape runner. We're going to put these on. This is the top, and you don't have to put a piece on the bottom. This paper really spoke to me for the Alice in Wonderland challenge, so I really wanted to use it. The Harlequin, for whatever reason, just, I don't know if it was the Mad Hatter or what, but it just really reminded me of the story, the movie. So I really wanted to use it, and we're going to use it on the bottom as well. Sometimes it is in the details of what you're doing, although on our other box we are not going to be doing the top and bottom, but you'll see that in a minute. And now let's get the front and back. So our front paper is going to hang over just a little bit. It's going to cover up kind of our fold there. And then it's also going to hide our folded in point just a little bit more as well. So you can see there, that's going to be the front of our box. That's still the top. So I had two at 3.5 by 3.5. And then I cut 4 sheets at 3 inches by 3.5 inches, or 3.5 by 3. For the sides and the top. So you do need to make sure, if you're using paper that's directional, that you have it going the direction you want it to go in when you're cutting it on your trimmer. I used my 12-inch trimmer to cut the paper, so we'd be moving things along here. And there we go. So this is our first box. Like I said, it's big enough even to hold a couple of cookies or treats, maybe even a cake. Uh-oh, I don't know why that one doesn't want to go straight for me. Here we go. I'm going to get it. I know I will. Sometimes it takes a minute. There we go. Okay, so there is our box. And I have made a small tag, because what's the point of having a box if we don't have a tag? And I pulled out one of our stickers. So I pulled out the same paper that is on the top of our box for our tag. I have a little present, though, that's going to go on here from our Joy to the World stickers. And then I am going to write with my pen. For this tag, I'm going to use my silver dot tip pen, and we are going to put Curiouser. Curiouser. Oh. If I can say it right, Curiouser and Curiouser. And I'm going to add just a little bit of embellishing around here, and I'm going to use the other end of my pen to add some extra flourish with some dots coming in. Because what's the point of having a dot tip pen if you don't make a few dots here and there? So we have our Curiouser and Curiouser box, and this is just waiting for somebody to open. I have some yarn that I've pulled out. This is I do crochet as well. I don't necessarily do crochet on YouTube, but I do have some of this fine yarn around in my stash, If I can get it going here, I want to get a little piece to hold on our tag. And here we go. We're just going to put a little knot in the end here. If I can do that here real quick. So just putting in a little knot. I'm going to go ahead. Ooh, sorry about that. I'm going to go ahead and cut off the ends that were really long. And now we will put this through our tag. Create another little knot here going through this end. Well, I guess that is a little bit long, but if you want, you can even string it through our box. Here we go. Let me open this up again. So with the way I did the knots, we actually don't even have to put a hole in our box. We can just string it through here, close our box, and there it is. We have our tag ready for our Alice in Wonderland challenge, and I hope you enjoyed seeing this box with the little bonus tag that you can make for anybody for Christmas. If you want, you can also punch a small hole in the side and run your tag through there as well. Until next time.